Sweet.
Jesus, do you want to start by talking about the beautiful generation of 3?
Well, the beautiful generation of 3 that promotes slavery for HMs is very wonderful because you need so many HMs that you basically need a slave. And I thought that was abolished a while ago, but you know.
Not on the Pokemon.
Not on the Pokemon. Oh, dude. Okay. Yes. Bravo. You didn't piggyback off of me like this one or that one. All your Pokemon are actually original Pokemon. 135, but not 151. So let's talk about your lore real quick. You're a kid moving into a new town. Cool. Your dad's a gym leader. Wow. So you're already destined to become a Pokemon trainer. You're not like me that has, have to work my way. You kind of already have your way. Your villains, Maxie and Archie. Maxie trying to make more land for some reason. Well, that's a great plan. Archie trying to flood the world so he can die, I guess. Cool villains. You have 2 rivals, which is alright, but they suck. Wally is basically your apprentice. Not like my rival, Blue, where he's like, see you later, douche. None of that. He's so polite. May, really polite. And May was, I think, supposed to be like your real rival, but you don't even get to battle her like starter's 3rd evolution. You finish at the 2nd one. And then it's Wally that comes in out of nowhere, just out of nowhere, as like your real rival, your apprentice. In terms of your champion, you're making fun of his champion. When your champion can either be Steven, which all you need is fire, or Wallace, which all you need is lightning or grass, which is pretty weak. If you're going to be a champion, at least be like my champion, diverse in every Pokemon. Don't just go off one stat. That's a very weak move.
Like speed?
No, I mean...
Like speed.
Type. You're having me do homework to catch the Regice? Like... What? Like, I gotta solve this code. You're giving him shit for his rock puzzle, but in order to get the Regis, you gotta
solve the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, the Da Vinci Code in a way. Basically solve their own language, and then, again, bring out your slave, because you're gonna have to dive and flash and do all this stuff here. I give you props on you brought weather mechanic.
You're welcome.
Cool, man. Weather. Nice. Your professor, I can always talk about your professor. He's so laid back. He's like, and the way you get your starter is kind of dumb. Yeah, like, dude, just give me a Pokemon. Like, hey, help me with a Pokemon. Okay, you're stuck with him. I didn't know I was choosing here, like, for life. I thought I was just choosing to help. So yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of water. Shout outs to IGN. A lot of water.
Carry on to that with the water. Tedious. It's like the word I would describe this game. Tedious. It's once you play this game, so tedious to just get to a different location because they decided to spread it out through islands and force you to make these HM slaves to just get to the next area. Like, I want to play the game and it's like I gotta sacrifice a party team so you can just like roam around to let me proceed to the next portion of the game. Gym battles, you want to talk about gym battles? By far the easiest game. By far. And no challenge. I feel like that's actually the beginning of the challenge gap, or just challenging went down after that game. They decided to tone it down, I guess, for a smaller audience or something. Or maybe they just kind of want to back down from like the beast these two were. Yet again, like, it was a big step down, like I said, with the day and night cycle. How do you go from 16 badges to back to just 8? And like you said, a very, very fraudulent champion. There's 0 death to the Pokemon. Like, you want to talk about how my starters were like irrelevant? Yeah, so those starters, in my opinion, are more relevant than these ones. But outside of that, nobody really cared about any of them. Like, everything, so from starters, everything in the middle, all the way to legendaries, and that's all that mattered. Everything in the middle didn't matter. Up until, like, other evolutions that came later on in Gen 4. And overall, I just feel like it's just a tedious game and it's pretty easy to beat.
So, adding on to that, we'll talk about some tedious mechanics here. First of all, it got rid of day and night because they realized it just wasn't working for them, and so they're like, no, can't do that here, so let's add some other effects. However, you ever tried going through weather in that game for like, at one point you're trying to catch legendary Kyogre over there, it's raining and pouring, it's flipping hard to see. Weather, not enjoyable within the game. HM, yeah, you have HM slays, and you have HMs that don't even come back, like dive. Like, they did that because it's a water Pokemon, you gotta put it in there, but obviously they didn't care about it because they removed it moving along. You talk about, what else is there? Your legendary Rayquaza there, you have to go through this tower to get there, you have to be on a bike, and you have to do some tricky movements on a super fast bike in order to get this
Frame perfect?
Yeah. Where it's like, if you're playing on the Game Boy Advance at the time, that gamepad wore out to a certain point where, like mine, you can move left on it. I mean, you can use an SP, get a little bit better there. But no, I'm not playing a Pokemon game to practice my movement. If I was doing that, I would have played Melee when I was out. No, instead, just trying to fight. I don't know. What else? You have the Battle Frontier. Yeah, you're finally adding some endgame content. Congratulations. There's... If Battle Frontier wasn't that great, but at least it was something. I mean, this one over here is talking about challenge difficulty. At least they gave you something to fight here. But, I mean, it wasn't that enjoyable. You have the Reggies. Yeah, it's Pokemon where you have to go in and do research in order to find them. Like, cool. They added difficulty there for no apparent reason. Just trying to do something different. I don't think it was too successful. Your game has a mechanic that a lot of people that I've talked to don't even know about. Mirage Island. Do you even know Mirage Island?
I do.
Do you know how hard it is to get?
Content?
What?
More content to my game.
I would say Mirage Island is a mirage of content. Because in order to get there, it takes a flippin' miracle. We can talk about your starters, how again, they don't show up again. You had Blaziken, a perfect Pokemon for Smash, but did you see that there? No, it wasn't there. Mudkips was there for the memes.
What's that to do with me?
It has to do with the fact that if your Pokemon were good enough to show up in a game, they would have been there. But clearly, they weren't cared about by the fan base, and they were still carried by first gen over there.
Can I add something real quick?
You
Go
sure
for
can.
it, sir.
Thank you're welcome.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway.
You needed my help with Fire Red Leaf Green. You're welcome.
No, I didn't.
You wanted to complete that deck,
You want to complete that dex, boy?
Are you guys done?
You
You're
can't
welcome.
do that with your own game.
You're
And
welcome.
then you're talking about double battles. It's a cool new concept. It's changing up the formula. They've tried it before with later gens, trying that triple battles. They don't come back. Double battles in this, they didn't understand their own mechanics there. You're hurting your own team with your moves. To an extent where it's like, hey, what the heck? Other mechanics, let's talk about Shedinja. One random Pokemon that unless you get a super effective move on it, it doesn't work. But then that doesn't come back for any other Pokemon. Like, what the heck? Why would you add that? I don't know, because they're just adding random things. Talking about your father, he has his own Pokemon Slacking who loafs around every other turn. Again, trying to add some random new thing, but does it really do that much? Not really, sir. Not really. Now you have a Pokemon that you can't even use half the time, just because they're trying to be different. You have Pokemon fighting for land, and then the Legendary's literally there to be like, break it up, you two. Break it up. Like, who wants a babysitter as their Legendary?
Right, Quaza. Hey, stop it.
And then, like, the whole point of, hey, I want to add land to the world. I want to add water. That's not a great concept, sir.
Oh, no.
They're reaching there. I'm sorry.
It was as good as Rayquaza just coming out and telling everybody to go to bed.
And again, talking about completing your Pokedex, you need other help for that. I mean, now you're bringing out this game, trying to save it with your remakes, talking about how there's day-night cycle in this game.
At least we have remakes.
My game is coming, and then you will fear me. The fact that mine doesn't have remake saves your soul, sir.
Are you done? Jesus. Alright.
He's afraid.
Anyway. You're talking about slavery. I agree there's a little bit of too much HMs, but I think it finally makes you integrate HMs into your starter's move list. It's kind of like a sacrificial thing where you're not to be selfish and overpowered like these broken games over here. It amazes me how all of you can talk about the story when you guys are literally all world domination. Literally, it's ridiculous to me because how can you not change the story? How is mine the only one that's different? Literally, it's different. And you can shit on it, but you talk about not taking chances. My game takes more chances than all of these combined. With the weather, like, everyone's, like, pooping on it. It doesn't make sense. I have 3 rivals. Silver, May, and Wally. Are they all kind of eh? Yeah. I think Silver's the best. But they all are kind of meh. But at least I have 3.
Silver?
Wally's basically... I mean, Steven.
You can't even remember.
Wally's basically just a Padawan. I mean, it's literally like Anakin fighting Obi-Wan at, like, episode 3. It doesn't go very well for him. I think Wallace is awesome. And I think you guys talking about my gym leaders is a weak point because I think mine have some of the most personality since Gen 1. Because yours really don't. I think Weather's awesome, especially from a competitive setting. What that added to competitive Pokemon is nuts. Anyway. Then you talk about the game being tedious. You guys all talk about it. I think that's an interesting point because it has to do with an atmosphere of an entire game. You guys, I don't know who said it, but someone's talking about islands. There's like not that many islands. There's like a big bulk of the thing, and then there's like a couple over here. Pretty sure your game
You try getting to that 8th
does
gym.
the same thing.
You tried getting to that 8th gym leader, okay?
It's Zootopolis. If you guys haven't listened to it already, go listen now. You talk about challenge, but it literally feels like I'm arguing you guys at the same time because it's just like a broken mess. Like your guys couldn't decide on levels. I literally just pictured the creators just drinking and they were deciding levels for the bosses, and they were like, "Well, let's make that guy 30." But his Pokemon only be level 23 at that point.
It's part of the challenge.
It really doesn't make sense, and that was the thing is like the levels to your game don't make sense. Like some of you guys are like random.
You can beat that game at level 55.
Anyway, that game doesn't make any sense. You talk about 16 gym badges, and like none of them are fulfilling. Literally none of them. I'm just like, yuck. Like I have to go back to Kanto, which was good the first time, but the second time, I feel bad for Blaine. What happened to that guy? Anyway, you have no room to talk about Pokemon, man. None. Literally, mine is so good with Pokemon. So good. Take a look at the wide spectrum of... It's not like lamps and other gross shit that are coming out in the new gens. These are original, great, 135 Pokemon. Brax, I'm not going to buy you a new SP or Game Boy because you keep breaking yours. Talking about Battle Frontier and like post-game, I think mine is amazing. And I feel like it really drove a lot of people to competitive play, unlike your two. I think your two, story-wise, were mediocre because, like I said, it was world domination, but mine finally brought them to the competitive sphere. Mirage Island, I don't think there's a lot of arguing there. Arguing more content's kind of weird. If you're hitting your partners in dubs battles, you're kind of a fucking idiot. I've actually played this one the most out of any of them, especially Sapphire. And the more I play it, the more I feel like I figure out new things. Mine did a lot of what your game did, but like improved it. Like even simple things like berries. Like mine finally brought like a lot of things to the table and like gave them a purpose to like accomplish something like beauty contest, which was later improved in Alpha and Omega. The gym leaders are like individuals. My dad's a gym leader. I think that's cool. You have a Dubs gym. That's nuts. Having a Dubs gym was like amazing revolution. It was original. It was finally original. Because this game really wasn't. Omega and Alpha are just amazing. I'll talk about more of them in my closing statements, but they're amazing. It's the best story of the 4 because it's different. Awesome scenery. It feels like I'm actually traveling. And I agree that there's a little bit too much water. I agree. But it really makes me feel like it's a world thing because I'm finally traveling somewhere. It feels good when I get somewhere. I don't just like walk 10 steps from where I was living before and there's a gym leader there. It's like you haven't been to that town before. Your mom doesn't have to go shopping over there because there's no Pokemon Center. Like there's no mart like where you live. Like really. There's great color, finally. Like, there's awesome color in music. It just adds so much visual and musical appeal that I just think it's great. Graphics are great. Surfing is a problem. I agree, like I said. But it gives you a sense of atmosphere. It didn't ride coattails like your game. Puzzles do suck in all these games. I think we can all agree that the puzzles are kind of gross. Some more than others, but, like, they are gross. This game takes more chances than any of these games do. That's literally just a remake with, I don't know, like 30, maybe 5 memorable Pokemon they added to the game. And I don't know, I'm not going to bring that up. The legendaries are kind of lackluster, except Rayquaza, Kyogre, and Groudon, which reminds me that's like half of them. They're awesome. I think they're awesome legendaries, which is one more than your 2 good ones. And you're kind of the original, so yours were alright, but that's a problem in this game. We'll get to that in a little bit. Multiple bike options. I don't know why you guys complain about... I feel like that's always a thing in Trial by Table. You guys are complaining about more stuff. Like, you don't want more stuff. you don't have to use it. It's just kind of there if you want it for the next playthrough. But Gen 3 is clearly the best because of a lot of different things. But even just the graphics and the visuals are amazing. And there's a reason they thought this was going to be the last game because of how long it took from this one to this one. It was way longer than any of these games apart from each other because they literally put the exclamation point, put the game down, put it in people's faces, and they were like, we're ending on that masterpiece. So, that's what I got.
All right.
Poor guy.
Rax, how are you? Four. Generation 4, we're 4 in, and what did you add to the table? Nothing. Yes, you improved. This guy added night and day and genders. He added weather. You took no risk. You added nothing.
Double battles.
Double battles. You added nothing. Your game is the slowest game out of all of them. Again, you're making fun of him for HMs. Dude, you made fun of Dive, but you have Defog. What the fuck? Defog. Again, you need a lot of I think you need, I think 2 slaves in yours. Because going through, what's that mountain
You
called?
need like 6.
Mount Corona or Coronet, whatever it is. Okay, so your mountain is like in the middle of the whole region, and you have to cross it 1, 2, and then 3 to get to your legend. So you have to cross that mess 3 times, and every time you cross it, guess what? You need HMs. You need your strength, your rock smash, and your new one, another new one, apart from defog, rock climb, which is so dumb. Just put stairs. We don't need that. Yeah, you need a total of 6 HMs to get through your game. 6. That's more than him. And you're newer. You gotta improve on that. You have 5 roaming Pokemon, not 2 because Suicune doesn't count, or 2 with his. You have 5 roaming Pokemon. Like I said, roaming Pokemon are bad, and then you just added more to that. You have too many legends. I get it. You want to create, like, oh, this is how the world started. Arceus is the god. Okay, cool. But then you have Pokemon like Heatran. Okay, whatever. Regigigas. He moves continents. Cool. The moon one that I don't know what it's called. And you were giving me a hard time for, like, the event Pokemon. You have 3 event Pokemon. Darkrai, Shaman, and Arceus. So, if you thought Mew, one of them was bad, then damn, dude, 3. Another one, you only added 107 new Pokemon. And again, unlike this guy, which were all original, you piggyback off of my gen and his gen. So you only added a total of 80 Pokemon. And 14 of those are legends, just so you know. So, cool. The story, it's a mess. Cool. Your guy, I actually think he's pretty cool. Not gonna lie. What's his name? Cyrus? Whatever. He was pretty cool. But, God, fighting those annoying grunts is so dumb. Because they're so weak. Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn, I don't really remember them. I don't really care for them. They were just like, I guess, we want to have memorable characters. Here's these 3. It's like, I don't care. Just get out of my way. I'll fight your cat. Cool. Boring story. Gyms took a while to get to. So again, like, your game is slow. And it's not even your text, because I would put my text to fast. It would always take forever just getting through your region. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Like, you didn't learn anything, obviously.
Okay. This game. He keeps talking about how Mew, Celebi, and all those were just like a one-time thing. This game introduces 3 that you have to go to special events for. So you can't even complete the decks. If you missed that day at that GameStop, that was it. That was a dream. This game is probably, like, I feel the least memorable, and I feel like this was actually the I said this one was the downfall, but this is actually the true downfall. I feel like this was like the last hurrah. This is the downfall. This was just like, we can still make money off of Pokemon. Let's just keep going with it. Just throw on how many? 100? No, maybe 80, because let's just reuse some of the other ones. Let's just give them the 3rd evolution. Yeah, whatever. too many legendaries. I would say it's overkill on the legendaries. So unmemorable. Nobody remembers those Lake Pokemon. Nobody does. Regigigas is only cool because it was in the Hoenn region, and Heatran and the Moon Pokemon. See, I don't even remember the Moon Pokemon. I mean, like, so unmemorable. I just feel like they just wanted to like give you something to like actually explore for it, but it's like Pokemon games already did that when you were catching them all, not by like, oh, I'm gonna see if I can find something in the forest. Like, no. I feel like they really messed up. They actually downgraded the legendaries. We actually see them in the box cover. Well, it turns out they're the equivalent of an Entei. Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina are the equivalent of an Entei when you get Arceus. So it's like, yeah, there you go, man. Like, your legendaries ain't even that cool because now you have God in here.
God.
On top of that, I feel like the story was so it's so simple. Which I mean, in every Pokemon game, it's so simple, but that one took the cake on it. It's like, here you go, man. This is just Team Rocket with a different outfit, pretty much. Didn't even have like, at least this one tried to do like ground and water elements. This one's just like, yeah, no, we're just gonna give you Team Rocket all over again. This time they're galaxy based. And overall, I feel like it didn't really add anything. That's my final statement on that. It just didn't add anything.
I agree with Fabian. I think this is the first time Pokemon took a step back. You talk about it was like online, and then you like play it. It's like this is horrible. Like, it not only is it full of hackers, but it's slow. It feels like I'm playing like old school Wii, where I have to get people's friend codes to play, which are what, like 9, 12 like characters, which is gross. It is so slow. Oh my god! Like, I'll go in the water with Surf, and my guy's like, and then it's like I have to use Waterfall. I'm like, oh my! I thought I was playing, not spectating. They're talking about Pokemon. This is a very interesting fact. You said 107, I think, something like that. Legendaries, there's 14. Well, no, you said 80. So 80 minus 14 is 66.
Yes.
You literally added babies. There was like a bunch of babies. Like, nobody wants to play babies. So those babies that were not only useless take off more from that 66. Plus final evolutions for characters. They were too lazy to come up with new Pokemon, so they gave them final evolutions.
And 9 are your starters.
Yes, which brings your total to like 40 of like non-memorable Pokemon, which is like awful. And like, you didn't have any fire types. There were like no fire types in your game, which blew my mind. I was like, where are the fire types? Underground sections? Oh my god. Awful. Awful. I was like, it literally felt like a broken minigame from like a very old game, like a Kirby game or something like that. And I was like, are they really, they're making me do this. This is part of the game. The gym leaders and villains are boring. Boring. There's just blocked passages for no reason. Like, it's kind of garbage in some other games. I won't even lie to you, like, why you can't go past a certain section. Mine was usually like, you can't use, like, ours were usually like, you need an HM to pass this part. Yours is literally just a bunch of guys just standing in the way.
Psyducks.
Like, can you get out of my way?
The
Like, and they're
Psyducks.
like, nope, there's construction back there. I'm like, what? Let me go past. The rival, I disagree. I think he's uninteresting. I just think he's kind of like slow and boring, like the whole game.
Barry?
But it is slow. It's very slow. It's boring. It made contests and music worse, which I didn't think it had the capabilities of doing, but it did. Like I said earlier, it's tied for the worst Pokemon. And before we get into what's broken about the game, which isn't as much as these two, but your game is the reason why there's Pokemon porn.
Yeah.
Because you made the Pokemon known as Lopunny? Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know.
Lopunny? You sexualized pocket creatures that I was in love with as a kid, and now people are
Going to jail for it.
going to jail for it. Things that are broken about your game, trading online in general is just kind of janky. I agree, it's cool that it started it, but it's bleh. Cloning is still a thing. I guess it's a thing in all the games, but it seemed more prevalent with you because you add so many legendaries, so people are going to want to clone more, so they do it more with these forgettable legendaries. And then Dusk Balls were literally broken. Absolutely broken. It increased the catch rate at night, and you could like cheat it to where it would be nighttime, and it would just be like Dusk Ball, Dusk Ball, Dusk Ball. It's basically you had a bunch of Master Balls just chilling, so like catching them all was like easy, you know. That's what I got for you.
Alright. Where to start? First of all, Fabian over there was saying that when you play a Pokemon game, you can literally slap any Pokemon in there. It's about the experience. So the fact that you're saying that to me is a little interesting. You're saying I added nothing to the game? I don't understand how that happens. You're talking about literally everything I added and complaining about it, saying I added nothing. That doesn't make sense. You're saying
It does.
the game is slow. You're playing a game for the experience. You're playing the game to go through. You guys are saying, oh, all these HMs are bad. At least mine makes sense. Like, you're going through this. Oh, I wonder if I can get that waterfall. Yes, you can. Oh, I wonder if I can climb that mountain. Yes, you can. And then just like if you're playing a Pokemon game or living in that universe, you have to have Pokemon for said adventure. You're going to go climb a mountain, better bring some mountain climbing Pokemon. It makes sense for the experience of the game. You're saying you passed through it 3 times, but there's different things to it, and then even in the end game, there's still more that they add there. I'll get to the too many legendaries in a second. The reason I was upset about the event Pokemon for your games is because in order to get them, they were incredibly difficult. You guys are saying, oh, you missed going to GameStop, you don't get the character. At least it's through GameStop, and not all the events were just through GameStop. Some of them were just purely online. So much so that this is the first game that I actually was able to get legendaries through the event thanks to that accessibility. You're saying that my other people are unmemorable? Jupiter, Venus, Saturn. 1, you remembered those names. 2,
I researched.
they were themed. It's all in the theme. It's all going to the stars. That's what this game was about. It's about changing things up and making it big. You're dogging on my Pokemon because they become literally Entei, Raikou, and Suicune? No! That is not at all it. It's the fact that these Pokemon are so crazy powerful that you need God to be more powerful than them. They're literally going into space, time, a whole different dimension in this game. What did I add? My Legendary has a different form. That's new. You guys didn't even talk about other Pokemon like Shaman. I mean, yes, again, event Pokemon, but they're different, they're fun, and they're unique. You're talking about, oh, you gotta catch them all, you gotta catch them all. Oh, but I hate catching legendaries. Who the heck hates catching legendaries? I want to catch a bunch of bugs and rodents over there, but you enjoy that apparently. You talked about Defog being awful. What about Flash Bud? Pretty much the same thing, a little bit different. Again, trying to change the form a little bit. I'm not going to try and defend that too much there. Pace of play, I think, is good because there's a lot to do in this game. Underground, you're saying that was a bad multi-experience and you felt it was glitchy. I question how much you actually played with your friends because that was a different way to play and it was enjoyable. And thankfully, I could play with friends. You can try and play with your friends in your games when they came out. That's pretty flippin' hard to do. At least mine brought people together. I mean, again, without the remakes with wireless capability, not feasible.
Link cable.
Link cable. Oh, you have to buy another accessory to play with people. What a joke. You're talking about me adding random things to block paths. What game doesn't do that? Snorlax over there.
Burn.
We're talking about my gen made Pokeporn? Excuse me? I can't control people like that. That's not this game's fault. Oh, you have good looking Pokemon. Sue me.
Said good looking.
He said good looking. He did say good looking.
Apparently people think that. I mean,
You're going to jail, buddy.
I'm saying the graphics were good, and they actually upgraded to the point where people are like, yeah, I can get weird with that. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying that speaks to how well they're making characters at this point, and how well it was appealing to people. Like, I've been talking about this for a while. We've been leading up to this moment. My game actually has Pokemon in other games. Sorry, I'm rocking the table. It's exciting. Oh, but look, we'll rock the table. This little guy right here.
Right.
No, it's on purpose. The reason we had this in here is because that's what my game added.
There had to be a good game in there.
There is backwards compatibility where not only can you get Pokemon from other games, but you plug this in, you have Pokepark. And then boom, new Pokemon get added. It's different. It's fun. You guys were upset about all my legendaries. It actually adds. Like, this, your random 3, that's like, oh, you spent hard time actually getting those 3, it rewards you in this one. Not a lot of games do that, where you take Regice, Regirock, and Registeel, boom, Regigigas. That's the first time that's happened. Revolutionary and different. Dusk Ball equals broken? I don't understand that. It's a slightly increased rate, not the Master Ball.
It's 3 times as much at night.
3 times as much as a regular Pokeball?
It's
Congratulations.
not a Pokeball.
Excuse
I
me?
think it's a great ball. It's 3 times the catch rate of a Dusk Ball, whichever that is, which I assume is higher than Pokeball.
Do you say the Dusk Ball is 3 times the rate of the Dusk Ball?
Yes. If you use a Dusk Ball during the day, at night it's 3 times more effective.
That's because it's not great during the day, and it's far better at night. Again, rewarding a mechanic that this game tried to add, and then they're building onto it. You're saying it ruined. Again, there's a lot that they attacked here. I'm sorry, audience. Like, legendaries. We added Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno.
Roaming. You made them roaming. What's your problem, man?
You just want to catch them all over there. That's literally your slogan. It's just, oh, let's go catch the Pokemon.
It's not
so
chase Pokemon.
You should
It's
be
catching
happy
them.
with roaming. It adds something new. When they actually go back, you can refight gym leaders in this one. That's actually enjoyable, going, hey, we've increased the level here, they're level 70 now, and you can refight them again.
In my remake, you can fight all the gym leaders you want.
In your
whenever
remake,
you want.
because they stole it from this.
You like the Battle Frontier guys?
I
The
do.
remake got you covered.
Again, your remake stole from the other people, just being like, hey, we can add that to this to try and make this a little bit better. At
So I got
least this
him in my
fixed the
back
fact that
pocket.
you don't
That's
need
my back
multiple
pocket.
bikes, where it's like, oh, you have a random bike here, that's not the right bike, son, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go back and change it out. This had new mechanics, which were fun, using the capability of the dual screen, which they added, and again, greatly expanded the legendary universe for Pokemon in a good way. These people are complaining because they don't get, oh my goodness, I don't blame them for it. I would want more of this. Endgame content blows these out of the water. I'll go into that in my closing. Jesus.
Closing. And it's always going to start with me. Because I made them all. They're basically my children. Alright, so in closing, there's a reason why these games keep getting me. There's a reason why this guy gets like 5 forms. There's a reason why Mewtwo gets 2 Mega Evolutions. Because they're so memorable, and they're the ones that started everything. And all of you remember playing Kanto the most. Probably this one, because that's when most of the kids started, growing up and getting memory, I guess. But then after that, whatever. No one remembers these, basically, until they get the remix, which I will probably get one later on in the search. But again, you're always going to remember what started it. You always remember Giovanni as the biggest and baddest bad guy. No one cares about Maxie, Archie. I forgot what the Galaxy guy was called. You were looking for my guy, so whatever. I just have the best one. I started everything. Sure, my first games were bad, but that's why I got remakes, which improved it. And now we have these, which we'll probably get more later on. But yeah, it's because my generation started everything. It has the most memorable Pokemon. They're the only ones, fun fact, that got Alolan forms. And none of these did. Only mine. Because those ones are the most memorable Pokemon.
There's not much to say about this Pokemon game. Like I said, it was supposed to be the last one. They wanted to go out with a bang, and they knocked it out of the park. Yes, you can diss on the original game, but I feel like when they remade them, I feel like they should have stopped there. They have all the technology, Wi-Fi battles, online battles, everything. I still got him in my back pocket. In the remakes, I get all his post-game content, again, in my back pocket. There's not much to say about these games. Like I said, I feel like they're just great overall. It just improved upon everything else, and then it re-improved on everything else when it got remade. That's all I have to say about that.
Just a little quick recap. Your game brought porn and religion to the table because that's always fun. Your games are broken and are tough to play through. And honestly, in my opinion, if you're playing Pokemon for like a bunch of people playing at the same time for like co-op and everything like that, just go play Stadium. Just go play the mini games. I play Pokemon for an adventure by myself, to be completely honest. I think it's all about the adventure, and I think it's a little hard to come by when you're with other people. But I'm done saying bad things about these games. I love all of them. I think they're all really good games. Just a couple more things about mine. Awesome starters. Omega and Alpha, I told you I was going to tell you more about that. They brought Mega Evolutions, Fairies, Day and Night, Primal versions, new weather types, Pokeblocks are simpler, even more post-game, legendaries, and 3D. So it literally took everything from the new generations that was good and injected it into a game that was already fantastic. Every character feels real, and it's just fun. I just have a really fun time playing the game. With mechanics and graphics, I really believe it's the clear choice. And I kind of understand why you guys are, hating on my game, and you guys sound mad. I think it's because you guys grew up in generations without a dad.
This one says he plays this game the most, but yeah, he didn't know that day and night cycle weren't until the additions. He's talking about mechanics being fantastic only with the remakes. That's just to talk about how it got remade and they're just adding everything back into it. That's not talking about the original game. It's just depressing. Talking about competitive play, this one is the one that changed. I'm surprised none of you talked about it. Maybe you haven't played competitive Pokemon. This is where the special physical split happens, boys.
Listen. Just keep going.
Did you talk about the special physical split?
No, I brought weather, which is huge and competitive.
Weather is one thing, but the fact that now all moves count differently because it's actually using a special attack stat and a physical attack stat, game-changing for this game. Game-changing. And why would you care about that? Because you can actually find your friends easily in this one. This one, talking over there about his continually gets remade, it's literally just riding on nostalgia. So much so that they're like, hey, we're going to use these Pokemon again. Now we should probably change it up. That's the only reason you're getting Alola forms, dude. You, talking about how this game was the downfall? Mine outsold yours, sir. Outsold when it came out. So, yeah, that's it. Itch your nose. I don't understand. This one over there, he was alright. He added new stuff, but again, without the additions of a new game to come out to add endgame content, which again, they follow from this one through and through.
I have your endgame.
You have your endgame because my endgame existed. If it wasn't for this, they wouldn't have added
No,
more.
my original endgame was his game.
That's not an endgame. We already talked about Easy Street over there, sir. At least mine adds different things to do, different Pokemon to catch, new adventures that actually give you a reason to explore, because that's why they add legendaries. It makes you feel powerful and accomplished.
Alright, I think that finishes it up.
You're welcome.
For what?
All of you.
That was our
welcome.
Pokemon trial by table. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Go give your dad a hug because maybe you have one.
You're welcome.
Leave it at that. Vote for who you think won.
Straw poll below.